So in this video, we're going to learn how to solve equations. Before, we were factoring expressions. That's something without an equal sign. Here, we're going to be solving equations. We're going to have equations, and we're going to do it by factoring. The first thing we need to talk about is the standard form for a quadratic equation. What is a quadratic equation? Well, that's just a polynomial or an equation that has degree 2. That means the highest power is 2. And the standard form just looks like this. A, where A is just some coefficient, ax squared plus bx, I should do a capital, plus bx plus c equals 0. So standard form is this. So everything to one side pretty much, and 0 on the other. So that's what standard form is. We also are going to talk about the zero product property, but we'll get to that. So let's just look at an example right away. Let's get into it. So example 1, I want to solve this. I know it's a quadratic because the highest power is 2, and I need to get it into this form. What does that mean? It means I need the x squared, then the x term, then the constant, all to one side. So what I'm going to do is I'll put them all on one side. This I need to move over. So I'm going to move it over. Plus 16x plus 16x. That gets rid of it. Remember, you have to do the opposite to move it over. These are not like terms, so I can't combine them. I'll just have 3x squared plus 16x equals 64. But I also need to move the 64 over. So I'll do that by doing the opposite. So I'll subtract 64. Subtract 64. So that's moving it over. And I have 3x squared plus 16x minus 64 equals 0. So then I have that. So that's standard form now. So that's the first step. Get the equation into standard form. Can I factor out anything from here? Can I factor out a 3? No, I can't. Step 2 is to try and factor out a GCF. But in this case, I can't. So what do I do next? Well, I factor. So step 3 is to just factor like we normally do. So factor like normal, that means we got to do an x problem. It's 3 times negative 64. That's 192, but it's negative because we have that negative there. And then 16 in the bottom. Now, I don't know what's gonna work, so I'm just gonna take 192 and divide. So divided by 2, well, I get 96. So no way that's gonna add or subtract to 16. 192 divided by 3 is 64, still not even close. 192 divided by 4, that's 48. I'm just going to keep going until I get something. 192 divided by 5, no, 6. 32, no, 32 and 6 doesn't work. And I'm just going to keep going. It's pretty much guess and check. 192 divided by 6, 7, doesn't work. 192 divided by 8 is 24. 24 and 8, I think that works. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Yes, this works. Cool. I just kept trying. Doesn't take that long. And then remember, I'll rewrite this. So 3x squared plus 24. Remember to put the x on there. Minus 8x. Remember, you have to have the minus there. And then minus 64 equals 0 now. Ooh, equals 0. Okay, so I just split this up, and I take out a common factor. In this case, I can divide by 3x. 3x goes on the outside, and I'm left with 1x, or just x. And then 24 divided by 3 is 8, so it's positive 8. And the x's cancel. So there we go for there. This is negative, so I got to divide by a negative, and I can factor out a negative 8. So I'll do minus 8 This will be 1x, or just x. This will be a positive 8. These are the same. So I will have x plus 8 and 3x minus 8. So those are my two answers, or my two factors, but it's still equal to 0. Now what do I do? Well, so step 3 was to factor like normal. Step 4 is to set each piece equal to 0 and solve. So that's what I'll do. What do I mean each piece? I mean x plus 8 equals 0, and I mean 3x minus 8 equals 0. So yeah, I just take these and I solve. The first one, that's easy, minus 8, x equals negative 8. That's one of my answers. I'm going to have more than one. And then here I have to add 8, so that goes away. 3x, maybe I'll do it back in black. Equals divided by 3. X equals 8 over 3. So I have two answers, 8 over 3 and negative 8. So set each piece equal to 0 and solve. That's how we do these problems. This is like the most complicated, but really nothing new except for this part. But that part is just solving a one-step equation or two-step equation. So there we go. Those are the steps, and that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. I'm definitely going to do more examples in the next video.